Welcome back to another Q&A series here at the Driving for Dollars Mastery channel. This is where you ask and I answer. If you want to see more videos like this, go to my homepage on my YouTube channel and click on playlists so you can see all the Q&As. If you guys like this, leave me a like, subscribe. Also, make sure you leave me a comment or a question so I can answer them in the next video just for you. As you can see from today's question, we got this question from Leighton Erickson. He sent me a direct text message because he is one of my students, and when my students have a deal on the line or appointment that's time sensitive, I ask them to reach out to me directly so I can help them. So he had a property, a motivated seller that he found that has a fire damaged property, and he needed to know what needed to be done in preparation. So I have another video on my YouTube channel that we'll put in the link below of a fire damaged property that I did a wholesale deal on, and I made $68,000 profit on that deal. So you can make a lot of money with fire damaged property. So as you're out driving around doing driving for dollars, fire damaged properties can make a lot of money. So one thing that I want to make very clear, if you're watching this video, I want you to focus on finding motivated sellers. I want you to get good at that. I want you to do driving for dollars. I want you to go out and call, text, whatever you got to do. Produce leads. Because if you're not producing leads, there's no point in understanding how to deal with fire damaged properties, how to deal with probate situations, how to deal with septic tank issues, how to do higher and better use, how to subdivide a lot, how to split up one lot into two lots, how to do all these different things that you can do in real estate to make more money per deal. There's no sense in doing that until you have a seller, right? My uncle always says, earn and learn, young man, earn and learn. And one of the things that has made me a very knowledgeable and successful real estate investor is I'm consistently finding deals, at least one a week, that we're evaluating and figuring out the best way and asking other people that are specialists in whatever it is that we're dealing with, whether it's a development opportunity or a multifamily or a single family flip, right? Or fire damage, right? Once you find a deal, then you learn about all of the problems that the seller is facing and all the problems that the property is facing to turn it into profits. Okay, so there's something called hypothetical questions that I get from my students. And they say, Zach, well, what if I find a seller that? And my response is always, well, do you have a seller in that particular situation? And they say, no. And the answer is always, then go find a seller. And then once we find a seller, we'll evaluate what the problems are and we'll learn how to solve those problems so you can make money. Too many times people get stuck in the rabbit hole of wanting to know all of the hypothetical answers without ever having a lead. And since they're focusing on that, they'll never produce leads and the knowledge will be a waste. They'll forget it all eventually because it won't be used and it'll be a waste of time. So if you're watching this just out of curiosity and you're in that rabbit hole, I want you to focus on finding motivated sellers. Go to my YouTube channel and find videos on how to find leads, how to build a wholesaling business, or find a coach that can give you the action steps to make that happen, okay? So let's get into the question now. I just want that to be very clear because there's lots of hypothetical stuff and I want you to be successful more than I want you to watch my videos, okay? So fire damaged properties, as you see in the other video, I explain it very clearly and I'll explain it again here. With fire damaged properties, you have to have a civil engineer give you blueprints of what has to be done to make it structurally safe, right? So there's going to be timbers, wood beams, trusses in the roof, floor joists. There's going to be different structural framing that's going to be damaged. And you have to have an engineer say what's damaged and what exactly has to be done to fix some of those things. They say shore up structural beams and that kind of stuff. What that means a lot of the times is they'll put, let's say, a 2x6 floor joist or a 2x8 floor joist is charred, or a 2x6 wall is charred. A lot of the times they'll make you go in, pull off all the sheetrock, and if it's not pulled off already, and put a piece of timber on each side of that charred piece of timber. They also have to go to all the charred timber and treat it. And they basically use a type of primer that seals in all the chemicals and the smells. It's like a white primer. It kind of looks like Kills, if you know what Kills primer is. So they'll encase all of that. So what we'll do is we'll put it under contract with the seller, and we explain to the seller, hey, just so you know, we're gonna have to go in and talk to a civil engineer and get engineer plans. This cost us about $1,000. We'll eat that cost, no worries. That's gonna be part of our earnest money, non-refundable earnest money. But we got to go in and have that and have that done before I can really get an idea. So let's agree on a price that makes sense. Best estimate, get it as low as you possibly can. Then I go in and have a civil engineer give me blueprints. Those blueprints will allow me to market the opportunity to a flipper, or even hire a contractor to give me a price. I have flipped a fire damaged property, and I was able to take those blueprints, say, hey, general contractor, these are the blueprints. Bring your framer, tell me what needs to be done, what's the exact cost gonna be, because you can't get an exact cost till you know exactly what the engineers require to make it safe. Because the city, you're gonna have to pull permits with the city to do the remodel, and the city's gonna require that there's a civil engineer and blueprints and check off on the work that was done according to what the engineers required. Okay, so that is the process. And so once you get it under contract, you get those blueprints from the engineer. Then if you want to wholesale the contract, you want to sell that contract and just get paid for finding the deal, you then blast it out to your cash buyers, fire damage property. Blueprints are already been done by the civil engineer. So bring your contractor, bring your framer during the inspection so you can figure out what you can pay for this property. They'll come in, they'll give you an offer, and you sell the purchase agreement. You pass on the engineer plans to them, which they'll probably already have because they'll need them for the inspection to get you a price, and then you can wholesale it, or you can fix it up yourself. But it's a very simple process. You just got to make sure you have those engineer plans. So hopefully that helps you. I hope you have a fire damage lead, and you're going to go make a ton of money because of this tip. I hope it helps. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to leave me some questions so I can keep answering them for you.